Alex and Tom's Hardware, and today we're going to do an unboxing of the new Samsung Galaxy S4. This is the Telus model. The exact model is a SGH i337M, which I believe is the same kind of model that's available on AT&T in the US. So this is a virgin box. I haven't taken the phone out, and it's the white model. So before I crack open the box, I'll just give you a quick rundown of who this phone's available from in North America. In Canada, it's available from every carrier under the sun. It's Bell, Rogers, Telus, Wind, Virgin, Kudu, Fido, Mobilicity, and Videotron, and probably even Manitoba Telecom System and Sasktel. I'm not 100% sure. In Canada, it's $700 outright, which is pretty pricey for a phone that's not a Note or a phablet, and it's $200 on a 3-year term, which again, it's quite a lot of money to put down to sign away your life for 3 years on one phone. But certainly it's the latest and greatest Android phone. It's probably going to be in the best-selling phones on the market this year, so I guess the carriers and Samsung think they can get away with that pricing. In the US, it's available on T-Mobile, AT&T, and Sprint, and it will be coming to Verizon very soon. And in the US, it's actually only $599 outright price, so it's a little bit cheaper in the US, and you can even get it as low as $150 on Sprint on a 2-year term. So it's a pretty good deal. And I wanted to say one more thing. I don't know why Canada is strange. It's like, if you want to get this phone on a 2-year term on Fido, it's $450, and that is absolutely insane. Anyway, let's crack open the box, and it has this sort of wood finish, though obviously it's not wood, it's paper, cardboard. So it's a pretty attractive looking package. Galaxy S4. Around back, it lets you know that it has a Super AMOLED screen, and it uses Android technology, and it has Samsung Safe technology, which is used for business applications, and it actually also supports what they call NOx, which is a wrapping of applications that Samsung's introduced that works in conjunction with mobile device management solutions like AirWatch. Strictly an enterprise feature, but certainly something that the S4 has over other phones. So yeah, nice box here, and again, that wood finish is carried around. So let's lift open the lid. Wow, this is very exciting, amazing. There we go. So inside here we have this beautiful white Galaxy S4. It has a sort of plastic coating on top of it, and oh, it's a little tight. There we go. So one thing that Samsung does do, other phone companies do, they tend to wrap their devices in a million layers of plastic. So we have this plastic wrap on the back, and we have the plastic wrap on the front, and I ripped it off in a second. I guess because it's a plastic phone, they don't want it to get scratched up in transit, because as soon as you take that plastic off without a case, it's going to get pretty scratched up pretty quickly. So some more inside of the box. What do we have? We have it's the fine print. So basically, do not read this, is what Samsung's telling you. We have a headset. I don't know, nothing special, but probably a decent headset, though it's white and I hate white headsets. It's basically an advertisement to get robbed, but if you like white ones, you can wear them. This is the cable here, USB cable. One thing I hate is when you get a phone and the cable is too short. So let's see how long this cable is. That's actually pretty good. This is quite a long USB cable. So kudos to Samsung for putting a cable that's actually more than 6 inches, like I found in some other phones. And, okay, let's forget that. I'm not going to bother wrapping that up. Extra earbud pieces, charger. Actual fact, this looks very similar to the exactly same as the charger and cable that comes with my Note 2. And battery, come on, get out. Shit, I'm gonna rip the box. I don't want to rip this nice box. This box is too nice to rip. And we have here a 2600 milliamp battery, which is pretty big for a regular smartphone that's not, again, a phablet like the Note 2. So let's quickly power up the phone. I also have a black S4 right here, which isn't really a black S4. It's almost more like a gunmetal because it has these weird, well, I wouldn't say weird is the wrong word, but it has these little sort of gunmetal textured finish on the back that really doesn't make it black at all, but they are calling it the Black Galaxy S4, so we'll turn that one on. So again, this is the Telus model. This actually is the Rogers model. Nice thing about the Telus model is you don't get a whole bunch of carrier crapware installed on it, where with you get the Rogers or Bell version, you have a ton of carrier apps that if you don't use them, basically take up space and you can't really uninstall them. I mean, you can hide them, but you can't actually get rid of them to free up storage space on your phone. And I also have a beautiful HTC One, which is the S4's main competitor. So we'll quickly compare these two in a second. So we'll just probably fast forward for this. You don't want to have to see me rambling on as I rip the plastic off. So of course this is an all plastic phone, so as I'm popping it open, I'll mention that it's 7.9 millimeters thin, which is very, very thin. If you pick up the main competitor here, which is the HTC One, the HTC One, if you hold it up next to it, is a little bit thicker. It's 9.3 millimeters, because I don't know if you can see, but the One has this sort of curvature here, so it's a little bit thicker at its thickest point. But the edges of the One and the S4 are very similar in thickness. And again, it's all plastic, so it's really light. It's only 130 grams, which, and to be honest, I think is a little bit too light for a phone. This all plastic construction is something that you're probably going to want to put in a case anyway. I mean, personally speaking, I don't like having any of my phones naked. So if you were to put a case around it, it's probably going to add a little bit of weight and make it feel a little bit more sturdy. Because, I mean, right now, here we go, here's the black S4, 130 grams. It doesn't feel like there's much in your hand. You know, some people like light phones. I'm a bit, you know, this is 143 grams, and it just feels better in the hand. You know, of course, everybody loves the aluminum finish of the HTC One. So let's get the battery in. What am I doing? Putting the battery in backwards, I think. I don't know. Okay. So yeah, SIM card slot, micro SD slot, of course. Unlike the HTC One, the S4 does actually have a micro SD slot, so you can put more memory in it. This is the 16 gigabyte model. One thing that has been reported, I haven't had a chance to look into that exactly, actually let me just do that quickly on this one here, is that because Samsung installs so many apps out of the box on the phone, that your usable storage on the 16 gig model is actually not very much. So let me just, more battery power storage, total space. So yeah, it only has 8 gigs of available storage. So out of the box here, and I think I've only installed maybe one app on this since I've got it, it actually has 9.6 gigs of that 16 gigs already used up by pre-installed applications. So certainly the 16 gig model is in dire need of more capacity, and being able to put a micro SD card in the back is going to be something that you're probably going to want to do with your S4 right away. Of course, you can always get the bigger 32 gig model, which will be available in the US, but sadly is not available in Canada. So let's just close her up and get that booting. So you can see the S4 starting up for the first time. Not going to go through the whole setup process, so let's put this down here. So anyway, that's been an unboxing. I'm basically going to wrap it up and just go over a few more things spec-wise of the phone. It's a 5-inch screen, it's a Super AMOLED, it's a pentile screen, which usually is worse than the non-pentile screens like you find on the LCD 3 on the HTC One. But the S4 is such a high resolution screen, 1080p, that you can't really see that it's a pentile screen anyway. It's a 441 ppi, so it's a very, very crisp screen. So 5-inch display. It's a this is the North American model. The North American model has a Snapdragon 600 quad-core processor, which is really powerful, and it runs at 1.9 gigahertz, which is pretty crazy speed, considering that the one, which runs at 1.7 gigahertz, is a really fast phone to start off with. So I can't wait to put this phone through its paces, run some of the benchmarks, and see how it really scores. So anyway, here's the black one. Let me hold it up next to the white one as it's booting up. So yeah, there's the two phones side by side, and let's do them from the back. So they both have this pattern on the plastic. It's not a texture, it's a perfectly smooth glossy finish. It's just a visual appearance, but that pattern is more noticeable on the black model there. So yeah, you've been watching Tom's Hardware. This is Alex, and this is the Galaxy S4, the latest Android smartphone from Samsung. Forgot to mention, it does run Android 4.2.2. It's one of the few phones outside of the Nexus series of phones that currently runs Android 4.2, so that's another nice thing to have. Anyway, let's wrap this up. Galaxy S4, Tom's Hardware. Thanks for watching.